And from there, you again drop Shantoham. The mind goes deep further. So with every Shantoham, the mind moves deeper and deeper inside the forehead. Third eye is not a physical one. It is in knowledge. What is that knowledge? It points to the real self alone is true. The way the sugar cube declares, I will remain sweet wherever you put me, place me. We get a glimpse of that. And the me world always gives a glimpse of pain, pleasure, duality, conflict, confusion, etc., etc. So that is why we name third eye Trinetra. It is known as Trinetra of the Shiva. Continue. And just do nothing. Remain as you are in a state of doing nothing. The perfect state to sync with the existence outside and inside that reveals the knowledge of the true nature. Oh, leave everything in the state of doing nothing. Oh. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms. Place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside. Know your experiences and bring the hands down. We'll share our experiences. But before that, I make it clear what Sam was asking, that we should, we can be with the prayers. Yes, we are with the prayers supported by the Shreyas. That is how the frog jumps into an ocean of the me world to grab food, to enjoy, and return again. Every time you return back to your own self. That is where the Shreyas is. How are you, Jerry? We don't hear you. We see the lips are moving, but not, but not listening. Very happy sitting in the. Yeah, it's okay. In the meantime, let's me have Lara. He will come back.
Um, I'm a semi-seeker today.
Tell me, okay.
Yeah. My
That's a
mind
good.
was really in that. It kind of kept getting pulled into prayas. And so I was like, okay, you're just being a semi-seeker today, and that's okay. And,
That's
just because I was like starting to beat myself up, like, you're not doing it right. And, that piece. And but then I was like, okay, just be okay with being, doesn't have to be a full seeker. And you're a human and you're in this human experience. And, you know, I kind of went to, I'm making a commitment to me. And my commitment to me is to just really stay grounded and be as present as possible. And like, I know for right now, that's where I'm in my path. And like, I just need to make sure that I feel grounded because I've gotten pulled out so many times in so many directions, not on my path. And so I know that it's more this commitment to me and showing up to the things that I've committed to. So, and that's my summary seeker.
no, no problem. Recognize the 4R. Recognize, we discussed about it. Recognize that even recognition is a great thing. That changes the state of the mind. Recognize, receive, retain, and realize. Wonderful. How are you, Jerry?
Good. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, good. It was great. I love the idea of the mind as a asset or a best friend, perfect roommate, because those it's when we practice that, or when I practice that, I know when anything comes in that's negative or not really dealing
That's
with
wonderful.
what is, that I can correct that quickly.
Yes, yes, Jerry. You see, the Jerry's mind has a different explanation. Lara's mind has a different explanation, but both are pointing towards the progress. That needs to be understood. So any word, any phrase goes into your head and it says, "This is it," and it helps you to grow. Beautiful. How are you, Randy?
I'm pretty good, thank you. All the things needed attention when I came in today. I had like headache, my mind was really busy, my body's doing things, like everything was attention seeking. So your lesson was especially meaningful. And it also, I think, was reflected in my practice. My practice was especially
Ah,
strong today because so many things were um, yanking, and everything just kind of got settled as we went through vinyasa, and it was helpful. So
It was helpful. You see, this is what the mind awakens to the reality. But you have all different expressions, but ultimately it is pointing to the same. Oh, everything was grabbing my attention. Am I giving attention? So grabbing attention is the me word. Simple. Beautiful. How are you, Sam?
I'm really good. It was interesting today because as we were going through the Nyasa, and the Shanto hum, the areas that I have been focused on in terms of physical training presented themselves as blockages to the Nyasa. So I was just noticing that. But I've also noticed in terms of going about my day to day, I've been trying to discern when I'm in Shreyas and when I'm in Prayas. And my body is starting to tell me, because it feels, those areas feel stressed, those areas of weakness feel stressed when I know I'm in Prayas. So that's a way of noticing for me right now. And at first I was like, all right, let's start contemplating and reflecting. But you can't do it when you're in Prayas. So I've just been trying to go back to the present, right? Put myself back in Shreyas. And that's when the situations reveal themselves afterwards. Once I've detached from the moment and gone back to Shreyas, I can say, okay, that's why I was feeling a little bit this way then. So I guess my body and my mind and my spirit are all feeling a sense of connectedness and noticing when things are not the way they should be.
Recognition is the first step. The moment I recognize that there is a Prayas, the Shreyas begins. The moment you have a recognition that mind is taking my attention to everything except the real self, except the peace, then it is a me word. And that very recognition takes your mind and starts the journey. That's another good way. How are you, Stephen?
I am better now. I actually woke up this morning. It seems as if we've all had some issues today, but I woke up this morning and my body was fatigued. My mind was exhausted and I didn't want to do anything. And I actually, what's been happening a lot, I have a little Girish that sits on my shoulder. And I said, what would your Girish say? And I said to myself, Shreyas is the way. Pulled myself out, got myself into meditation this morning and experienced my practice as frictionless.
Fatigue was gone.
Everything is gone. I feel completely different person. So
Yes,
that's a good thing. And Christina, I'm glad to see you back.
That's a beautiful way. That is what you follow the Shreyas. You may experience an extreme fatigue and mentally exhausted. It please like anything. That is the power of the knowledge of the Eastern wisdom. I didn't want to say before, but I was waiting that someone shares the experience. You change yourself completely. That is the power. The moment the mind becomes an asset. So, how are you, Barbara?
Well, it took me a little while to settle down today into the meditation. But then when I did, like peace kept coming over me like waves. And then I just felt very connected to myself.
Good. That's another way. Connected to myself, the mind is an asset. It is only the mind that recognizes. Beautiful. How are you, Vaibhav?
Sir, I'm good. It's simply like that. While doing the practice and in the daytime, also like if I hold too many things in my mind, then obviously it will get troubled. So whenever I just get this awareness that too many things are going in my head, I come to myself, and the moment I come to myself, it is peaceful and relaxing.
That's a wonderful way to explain it. So we can go to the next step. That is what I was waiting. Once you guys and girls share the experiences. Too many things, me word pairs. See that? So then it becomes an attention grabbing personality. I'm exhausted, for example. Now my mind is taking the attention of exhaustion. What you will get? Nothing. Now, see the beauty of these principles. Good. How are you, Bo?
Hello, how are you? I had an interesting
I'm taking your
experience.
attention.
Pardon?
I'm taking your attention.
You're taking my attention. Well, on my way to class, I always say, going to see Girish, going to see Girish. I'm always very excited to learn from you. Here's something that happened to me, and maybe you can explain it because I can't. I don't know if it's called heat or energy. But as we started the meditation and my mind became unfocused, we would get to, for example, concentrate on your right arm. So I'm pulled back by that. I have a little car of light that goes whoosh, all the way down the bone. And once it settles in, it's smooth and it rides. But physically, I've noticed I have like all this heat coming off my body where my hair is almost sweating. Once I settle in, like now I'm chilly after the whole meditation. Why does that happen?
Yeah.
Is there a reason for it?
Very, very millions and millions of past impressions are accumulated in our mind pertaining to the prayers. When you do this nyasa, it wants to release sometime. The mind prompts me to release, and if there is a sudden release, we experience too much of heat, too much of cold. What is the way? Continue. Just continue the practice. Follow the practice. And one day you will find that there is a sudden release. Now I can tell you, I told you before also, that when we do these kind of practices, you may get a sudden jerk in the body. That is also the meaning that we are releasing those impressions.
Wow. Okay.
It is purifying. It is cleansing. Let it be so. So we have our dear, where is Christina? Yeah, here it is.
So I'm grateful to be here with you all and share this experience again. And from here on out, during the experience, I felt that I was the observer and the prayas was on the TV, and it was just someone was clicking through the TV channels, and it was just, thoughts that I didn't need to be thinking about. And I was just back observing, ignoring that. And then, so that was an interesting feeling to be able to not get those. And once we were pulsating in my third eye of just, and then once you drop the Shanti Shanti, it absorbed throughout my body into pulsating or just circle around. So it was very beautiful.
Beautiful. You see, you also look beautiful when you attend the session. You become more beautiful when you attend the session. I don't know, because I don't meet you and after the session. Yes, there's a very good point that was unfolded. That is what I heard, and that I will take it. Let me have Sangeeta share her experiences first.
सर एक कभी लगता है कि हम श्रेयस में है, लेकिन सटल लेवल पे प्रेयस भी साथ साथ ही होता है, तो अवेयरनेस जब आती है तो एकदम से श्रेयस में आ जाता है.
Yes, she is making a good point. The moment she becomes aware, the mind returns to the Shreyas. So otherwise, there is a mixture of the movement, both the Shreyas and the Preyas movement. Beautiful. What point I was making, think of it and change your expression that is coming from the mind. That idea, that thought popped up in my mind because of what I heard from Christina. The moment I say I am stressed, so there is a stressful situation outside, but I am different from it. Are you getting it? I am rich. No. I have a lot of money in my bank account, but I am different from that adjective. Do you see that? I'm beautiful. Beautiful, I'm relating to the body. The moment I relate it to the body, the mind starts moving to the prayers. Oh, you didn't appreciate me. We do all the stuff on the face with the clothes. Why? Is it attention seeking or attention giving? That I leave on you to think. It doesn't mean that I should not clean myself. I should not put everything. That's a totally different. Huh? That's totally different. So this mind is treated properly, rightly, make it an asset, and you live in the world. There is always a success, peace, happiness, love, and bliss. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.